Welcome to the Brent Gove podcast with co-host Eric Lofholm. We are building 1 million agents in 100 countries in 10 years. Now, here's your host, Brent Gove.
Hi, this is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome you to the Brent Gove podcast. Today, I'll be sharing some ideas with you about manifesting. You probably have heard that term before. You may have studied manifesting. You may use the word. And I'm going to share with you some insights that I've learned from studying masters of personal development. People like Steve Hardison, the great Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Joe Dispenza. And when I use the word manifest, what I mean by that is think a thought and then bring that thought into reality. Think a thought and bring that thought into reality. So as an agent, if you want to close 24 deals this year, you're clear. This is the exact result that I want to produce. Or I want to close 36 deals this year. You're clear. That's the exact result that you want to produce. Or I want to close 100 deals this year. You're clear. That's the exact result that you want to produce. So manifesting to me, it starts with being clear on what you want to create. And then this next step, you may have never been taught this before. It's the word alignment. Alignment. What do I want you to align? I want you to align your thoughts and your actions and your visualization. And you may have never had anyone tell you to align your thoughts, your actions, and your visualization. In fact, visualization may not be a part of your current strategy. Like maybe you visualize things at times, but this is a strategy that you can use before you go into a listing presentation. Imagine that you have a listing presentation coming up and it's on Saturday and it's Thursday. And Thursday night, you imagine being in the home of the potential client. And you see, maybe it's a husband and a wife. And in your mind, you see the husband there and the wife there, and you see the dog barking, and you see you very calmly talking to them, bringing the benefits to life in the listing presentation, and you see them signing the agreement for the full fee that you're asking for at the end, and you successfully see selling the property. So if you just do that one time, just once, you'll have already experienced that listing presentation in your mind, and you've probably heard this. The subconscious mind does not know the difference between a real event and an imagined event. Well, that was Thursday night. And then you go, you know what? I'm going to do it again. So still on Thursday night, you imagine walking in the home, greeting the husband and the wife, getting into rapport, being very calm, the dog barking, delivering your presentation, bringing the benefits to life. You get the contract signed with your full fee. And then you go, you know what? I'm going to do it one more time before I go to bed. So you do it a third time. Friday, you wake up. You're like, you know what? I'm going to visualize that presentation again. And you do it 3 more times on Friday. So now you've done it 7 times. And then the day of the listing presentation, you do it 3 more times. So you've now had this experience of walking in the home, building rapport, going through the benefits, 10 times. Now you're with the prospect. It's the 11th time that you're delivering this presentation, 10 times in your mind and once in person. Do you think that will make a difference in your listing presentation performance? Yes or yes? It 1,000% will. Why, if it didn't, why would Michael Phelps do this? The greatest swimmer of all time. Okay, why would many of the top athletes, if it didn't work, why would they do it? Okay, it works and it works and it works. Visualization works, and I want you to do it strategically. So we're aligning our thoughts. So if you are on a coaching call with me and you say to me, Eric, I am inconsistent. Is that thought, I'm inconsistent, in alignment with you closing your 36 goal transactions per year? If you want to build an EXP team, you have a goal to build a 100-person team, and you are saying, I'm not good at recruiting. Is that thought, I'm not good at recruiting, that statement, is that in alignment with recruiting a team of 100? The answer is no. And people do this all day, every day. And I know this to be true because I've met with you. I've met with many EXP agents. I've met with many real estate agents in my career and many just human beings. I've done thousands of coaching sessions. And I'm able, with your permission, to get inside your mind. And you tell me your fears, and you tell me your doubts, and you tell me your dreams too. What I'm telling you is people do not know. Number one, a lot of people aren't even clear on what they want to create. And then they don't know to align their thoughts, their actions, and their visualization. So one of the things I've observed in most people is they live their life thinking from the past. So if you're a person that worries, if you get stressed in your thoughts, what's happening there? You're thinking from your past. I have a client, I coached him on it today, and he's worried, right? He's worried about money. And so I was like, we're talking, and he says, I had a short sale in my past. He owned, I think, 3 properties plus his primary residence, and he lost it all. That's a very traumatic financial experience, especially when you lose the family home like that in short sale. So it's like, in his mind, if I build it, I might lose it all. If I build it, I might lose it all. So if you have a thought in your head, if I build it, I might lose it all, you're probably going to have resistance to building it, right? So where's the worry coming from? It's coming from his past. His thoughts are coming from his past. What I want you to do is not create from your past. I want you to think into your future. So you put your thoughts on, if you want to do 100 transactions, you put your thoughts on the 100 transactions. If it's recruiting, you put your thoughts on that. You put your thoughts on whatever you want to create. Worry does not create a result that you want. So when you say, I'm worried, that's the spoken word. It's a law. It's a manifesting law. And when you're saying I'm worried or I'm inconsistent or I'm not a good closer or I'm not good at follow-up, you're manifesting, but you're manifesting that which you're speaking. It's the law of the spoken, it's the manifesting law of the spoken word. So I want you to get clear on what you want. I want you to ask yourself, what are the thoughts that I need to have in order to create that? What are the actions that I need to take in order to create that? What do I need to visualize in order to create that? And what the visualization does is it puts what you want to create in your body. So, what do I mean by that? There's a good possibility that you have resistance to doing a listing presentation on a $10 million property. Now, obviously, I don't know you, and there's all kinds of people all over the world that listen to this podcast, but there's likely some people right now, if they're honest, they go, yeah, I'd have resistance to a $10 million listing presentation. In other words, just check how many times in your career have you prospected a $10 million property? Some of you are like, oh, I do it all the time. Fantastic. Some of you are like, I've never done it. And if you've never done it, you probably have resistance to doing it. So let's say you've never sold a property over $1 million and you want to get a $10 million listing. How would you do that? You would visualize yourself going on $10 million listing presentations, because every time you visualize it in your body, it's as if you've already done it. So if you visualize it 100 times in your body, you've done 100 $10 million listing presentations, and your body will embrace it. So what we often do is we resist what we want. So I'm talking to a client recently. He's not a real estate agent, but he's typically making about $5,000 a month, and he wants to make 20. And he's comfortable at 5. He's not visualizing 20. So I told him, I said, you got to get your body conditioned to make 20 grand and make that normal. So I want you to start visualizing yourself. What would 20 grand look like? See it in the bank account. What would you do with the money? Where would it go? Pay the credit card, go on a trip, buy new clothes, get a new car, invest it, buy real estate. 20 grand's coming in every month. Where does the money go? And start normalizing that. So then when it happens, he's already experienced it in his mind hundreds of times. Now, my last tip for you, and by the way, I encourage you to listen to this podcast multiple times to put what I'm teaching you in the subconscious mind. I'm passing along information that was taught to me by masters. I also encourage you to share the podcast with your downline, your organization. Share with your team so they can learn from what it is that I have to share. So this last tip's super cool. What you do, you've all heard of logos, right? Like the Nike swoosh, right? Companies have logos. Virtually every company has a logo. Have you ever made your goal a logo? That's what I want you to do. This is what I have all my clients do. I have them take their goal, one of their main goals, put it into ChatGPT or similar, and ask the AI to create a logo. And it's great at doing that. You don't have to be a graphic design person to build a logo. So my client wants to make $250,000 in the next 90 days. He made the logo $250,000, and then he turned it into a mouse pad. So subconsciously, he's using his mouse pad. That number's going into his mind, right? You can put it as a screensaver on your computer, on your phone. So what I want you to do is I want you to pick like a real estate transaction goal, a recruiting goal, whatever. Pick a goal that resonates with you. Agent attraction goal. Pick a goal, income, turn the goal into a logo and look at it every day. And that will help you. You're aligning with the laws of manifestation to bring that result into reality. Thank you for being one of our listeners of the Brent Gove podcast. We look forward to sharing with you on a future podcast. Bye for now.
Okay, so here's the deal. We have incredible information, video content on my YouTube channel. Go over there and make sure you subscribe. And it's vital that you ring the bell. If you ring that bell every time I put out new content, it's actually going to notify you, and you can get the latest and greatest of what's happening at EXP. Now, don't forget to like me on Facebook so you can also get that content, and then follow me on Instagram. We're hitting everybody high, low, and in between. We're trying to get the information out there so you can build big businesses, revenue share organizations. So go to YouTube right now. Please subscribe and ring that bell. Like me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. We'll see you out there.